Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Why not just stare at my pretty face? I've missed being a virtual kangaroo, both on Twitch and in VR chat. Golly, I've missed it. You see this face? I didn't get to be this face. I had to be flesh tubing for like 5 days. Gross. Now I'm back to the good form. I don't know how many people have seen the state of my board here, the state of my pure ref. This is not an image. We're gonna go around, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna explore. These are my physical notes. I have 5 gosh darn pages full of all this information. Caliph, did I know that I'm cute? Oh my, whoa, really? Whoa, oh, whoa, what? Wow, okay, yeah, that's the first time I've heard that today. Thank you, Mance. Also, hi. This was all Thursday, by the way. This one block of text, that's all Thursday. Catchy, and here's my nails. This color is called Sugar. That's all Thursday? Yes. So I can show you the kind of breakdown. This is Thursday. This is all Friday. Saturday is a page and a half, and everything else is Sunday. That page and a half with a couple different colored texts in there, that's all Sunday. Also, I signed it. I signed it Caliph. How about Denver? Just a hop, skip, and a jump across the cornfields. I have already committed to too much crap this year. I was talking about it with like a friend in DMs. I'm like, after last year, all I wished for was Zen Merle the Hom would just follow me, but it didn't happen until this year, and that's okay. Also, hi, welcome in. But after last year, I was like, God damn it, Caliph, you have to do less trips. You have to commit to less bullshit. And here I am doing 4 cons and a friend trip. So maybe 2024, maybe I'll calm down. I don't know. Can I calm down? I don't know if I have the ability to. So there is a caveat here, and people might have already read it. Note, I will probably have forgotten if some people were at a certain spot or some individuals' names. I did my best to make note of all the wonderful people that I hung out with. And this is true. I tried very hard to at least, mention somebody's name at least once if they happen to be in an area. If you're not mentioned and I met you, it's not because I didn't care. It's because I was overwhelmed with all the bullshit going on. I promise that's it. I promise I still enjoyed our time together because I had no negative interactions at all. And before we even get started on all the days of the con from Thursday to Monday to time is a blur, what was my biggest worry pre-con? My biggest worry approaching the con had nothing to do with all the people that I wanted to meet. It had nothing to do with all the people that I was excited about. It had nothing to do with the large amount of individuals or anything like that. I was worried I was gonna get addicted to scrolling on social media again because TFF, addicted, Annex, addicted, whatever con I did before that, addicted. Every gosh darn time I approach a con, I'm just like, oh, I have to kill 5 to 20 minutes, not a big deal, scroll. And we're gonna put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it. I use this color, yes, I color coordinate my pure ref board, Lamau, for different things. This means I'm going to pin it. I'm gonna come back to it. This is our first of many pins on my board. So, Thursday, whoa! I had a long journal Thursday morning, and a lot of it was about how clocking out of being productive felt so strange. And I had a very explicit conversation with myself before we left for the airport. And I said, Caliph, we are turning off introvert mode. We are turning on temporary extroversion mode. We're going for it. At no point will I need to slow down. I will be a powerful burner of energy because I'll be surrounded by people I love and I'm excited to meet, and I can keep going. And I think it's easy for people who meet me in VR chat or see me on stream. They're like, Caliph? Introvert? Like, I don't get it. Like, what are you talking about? This man's so full of energy. He's so goddamn wiggly. Yes, I can do it because I take constructed breaks and I check in with myself a lot. So that is how I maintain my extroversion power on stream, in VR chat, In person, I think it's much harder for me to maintain that level of extroversion, but I tried really hard, and I think I did a really good job this con. I feel like I was very sociable, very silly, and I feel like I gave pretty much everybody 100% Kangi, which I'm happy and proud about. You know what else I love? We have a new airport in Kansas City. This is pictures from Google, thanks Google, of our new airport. So pretty. People are blurry there. This is true. Look at all these nice things just floating in the air. Why not? What's this sculpture? I don't know. It's pretty. It's great. I love it. Love the new airport. How many furries did I see at the airport? The answer was a lot. So Cinna is a cool local furry. I like them, and I'll talk more about them later. And because we have a new, bigger, larger hop right here from Tater, I'm just always impressed. But because the airport is big and gigantic compared to what it used to be, it's so much easier to see furries heading out for cons. I met like literally 8 new furries in Kansas City I didn't even know lived here. So that's another buff, another boon to this cool large airport, is we can meet more local furries before we're even at the con, rawr. And I met a local furry who entered my DMs to wish me a happy birthday. I didn't know they live here. Somebody who lives locally in Kansas City works on ferality, and we talked about VR chat, we talked about ferality and the things that they do for them, and it was just so cool. It was just this weird random touch point. I'm like, oh my god, you're so neat, and you're right here, right next to me in this town. When my husband and I were chatting to the local furries, I was really thankful for this opportunity because I essentially got to get rid of any awkwardness I felt just on these people I didn't know. So it's just like, hi, this is our first time meeting. It's still early and I'm tired and I might be a little awkward. Oh, cool. Let me just shake all this off. So by the time I get to the con, I can just wiggle and be myself as much as I can. So this experience, having like a pre-social furry time before I hit the main social furry time, was a really good way for me to get into the zone. So, oh my god, look, it's Golden. Golden Pelt from chat right here. Golden was at the airport when we landed. They told me, oh yeah, Keleth, I'm gonna be wearing like a very obvious tie-dye shirt. You can't miss it. And I see somebody like walk up to me and I can make eye contact. I look down, I see the tie-dye, and I'm like, I know who you are. So we met for the first time. We got all our bags and we took the MARTA to the hotel. So Golden came with me to the elevator at the hotels. And a note that I have not mentioned on the recap yet, I did not stay with my husband. Oh, it's right here, right there. I didn't know it was here. Yeah, my husband and I did not stay together at the con. Why is that? He decided to go to FWA first, and me, I was just on Twitch, and people like Carl were like, oh man, Keleth, it'd be so nice if you went to FWA and I could like see you and stuff. And I got that from, you know, Carl, I got it from Merle, I got it from Pronzo. If not directly, just the fact that they said they were going, there was like this little just voice in my head that said, Keleth, do it. Keleth, do it. And I made a tweet. And it was essentially like, there's nothing set in stone, I've not bought a plane ticket, nothing's happening officially. But if it were, who could I stay with? And 2 people, 2 wonderful individuals reached out to me. And I was so sad because it's like, oh man, I have to say no to one of them. Wow, I have to say no to one of these beautiful people who both of which are dear friends and I want to spend more quality time together with. One of which was Cinder Collie and one of which was Hurry Slowly. So both like amazing choices to stay with. I literally made like a notepad that was large. And I chose to stay with Cinder, partially because I've spent more quality time with Hurry at cons in the past, and I've spent less quality time with Cinder and Tux before. So that was sort of my main reason that I chose them. But both would have been amazing choices. But while Golden, they were traveling with me from the airport to the hotel with a MARTA, and they came with me to the elevator hotels. They gave me a birthday gift. I haven't opened it. It's still over there. They wrote May 24th on top. I personally feel like I have to wait for the special day and then I can open it. Put you in the pouch? Can do. Hey chat, we haven't gotten to lag together. This is so nostalgic. Just me clicking the props button and just not being able to move for a few seconds. I miss that. You know what else I missed? Oh my God, pouch time. Pouch time right here live on twitch.television. Who's gonna go in? Well, it's the one, oh wait, can I put you on my hand? I never thought of that. Oh my God, I can just carry Gyoju, Lamau. I've never thought about that. There's this weird like buffer and just wiggling you all about. Sorry, this is probably making you dizzy. Let's put you on the pouch. I never thought about that. Oh, I missed. Oh no, I absorbed them? Oh, I lost them. I don't know where they are now. All right, there we go.
Wow. Cangy pouch time, Caliph hop, Caliph hop, Caliph hop, Caliph squish.
Wait, is this orbital Gyoju? I just saw them flying in the background for a second. I don't know where they are. Are they attached to my head? I don't know. We'll see them later, I'm sure. You haven't heard Kangi since the VR chat meetup? Kangi voice is so cute. Well, it's funny because I think Merle was the one who said this. They're like, Caliph, oh, did you see Orbital Gyoju? Wait, I don't know how I triggered that. Anyway, they're just gonna fly around occasionally. I think Merle told me this. They said, sorry, I keep seeing Orbital Gyoju. I can't intentionally trigger them. It's just random. It's just random. Anyway, Merle told me, oh man, I know people say they can't imagine your voice coming out of your human face when you see it, but yeah. Oh no, it is! Oh, it is on my right hand. Whoa. It's so far away from my right hand, but it is connected. That's so funny. Anyway, they can stay there. They can just fly around, why not? Anyway, we're only here. I'm at this fucking spot of the recap. My bad. It's been 40 minutes? God. So hi, whoa, I stayed with Cinder and Tux. Yeah, I used the scrunkly icons, hell yeah. So they are my roomies. They were amazing, wonderful roomies. Oh, and I have spoiler safe sections of my pure rep because I'm over the top. So Cinder watched my stream. Well, they overheard somebody asking me, oh, Caliph, what kind of sweet do you like? And they heard me say zebra cakes. So on my bed, there was just a pouch of zebra cakes, just right there, a whole container. It was the best like post-suiting snack. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Wait, zebra cakes. And you know what? I talked about this a long time ago, so I doubt many people here remember. But they also made me a Kangi cross stitch. Look at this. It's over there. It's over there on my desk. I haven't like hung it up or anything, but this is so real. Oh my God, look at them. It's so perfect. It's just this nice, wonderful Caliph hop emoji, just still frame of them. I sent them the high quality so they would have the best reference possible. This was the coolest gift. It was so nice. I love it. I really need to like hang it up somewhere. Oh yeah, just like that. Yeah. Whoa, I went to Reg with all these people right here. That's a Golden, a Kinji, a Lif, a Wolfro, a Tank Fox, a Brigander. Only some of which I've met in real life before. Them, and technically Golden earlier that day. So these three individuals, first time meeting in real life. I say Regline crew. Oh yeah, so I went to Reg with these two wonderful scrunkly lads, and then I sadly ditched them. I felt bad about it. But like, I've met Cinder before, I've met Tux before, so seeing so many like people from my side of Twitch.television for the first time, I was just like, wow. And I just like jumped and I hung out with them. And we immediately looped back into Reg like 3 spots behind Cinder. Sorry about that. Oh, let me tilt it. There we go. Wait, where's this attached? It's not attached to my head. What is with my attaches today? I'm failing. Is this fine? Is this better? Should it follow my head? Wait, let me try and make it follow my head. Where was it attached? Oh, baby. There we go. Hi, yeah. You know, originally, when I met up with this Regline crew right here, Regline was not on my mind. No part of me was like, oh yeah, time to spend like 2 fucking hours just standing around doing nothing. But when you're with friends, just friend time dilation happens, and so many people here are both old but new. Old in terms of I know them from Twitch and I've been around them for, I don't know, years at this point. So there was all this like catching up, but also just relating to each other because we already know each other. It's a magical thing in the furry fandom having that happen, so pretty cool. I don't know how long it was. It was probably, I don't know, like 90 minutes to like 2 hours. It did not feel long with all the friends. Also, I took barely any fursuit photos. I'm not good at this. Cinder was so much better on their recap. If you want cute fursuit photos, go watch Cinder's recap. Mine's about stories and meeting people. But I did see this nice plush bat giving a hug. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? Whoever is inside here must be having the best hug of their life right now. Oh, Merle found us in the line. Merle was just kind of running around. They're like, I have to meet Caliph. We ended up spending a lot of time together, but you never know how things are gonna happen or go at cons. So I think they made the correct decision of trying to like seek me out while I was stuck in the line. They had gotten here the day before. They were a Wednesday individual, but they found me. We hugged, we talked for a second in the line con. Merle did something that I think is such a smart, good idea. So Merle brought a water bottle that was completely blank, and anytime somebody gave them a sticker, they're like, hey, do you want to place it on the water bottle? So it worked in a multitude of ways. One, the stickers got placed immediately, so there's no indecision. Two, it's like a nice little memory board from a con, which I thought was a really smart idea. Kyoji's like a mosquito. Yeah, just aw. So, my first meal of the con. I've been training for this moment. What does this card mean? Well, Atlanta's fucking hot and very humid, and I knew this going in. So, about a week before, I was talking with my husband, and he was like, wow, it sucks outside. And I'm like, wow, it does. Oh my God, it sucks outside, just like Atlanta. So I've actually been doing, before the con, like 30-minute walks each day in the mid-afternoon, which was horrible and it sucked. But you know what? It trained me for how shitty the con felt outside. So I was really happy that I did it. And before I go to AC, I feel like I want to do the same thing. Not necessarily to prepare for the hot weather, but just to train my poor little feetsies for all the steppies that they are about to, you know, just happen and experience. We walked all the way to the vortex. And you might be thinking to yourself, Caliph, you just talked about using the MARTA to get all around the con. Why'd you walk? Didn't you just say it sucked outside? Well, yes and no. Even though, you know, it was humid and it was hot, I feel like this day and this time, it was a very cozy walk. And after we were finished eating, which this is my burger, by the way, with the tots, hell yeah. After we were finished eating, there was the conversation at the table. Oh, do you just want to like Uber back? And I said, not really. I kind of just want to walk back and, you know, have a nice time with friends where it's nice chill outside. Oh my God, I got Gyoju on the burger. Gyoju's smaller than the tots. I love seeing that. And we ended up actually just walking together. And because, you know, what, 2-something hours had passed since we walked there, it was actually kind of nice and chill outside. It was really good. It was so cozy. This was one of the better parts of the con to me. Just the idea of it's a group of what? So that's 3 plus 3, 6. Well, one person went in the Uber. So 5 plus me, just all walking back in a group talking with each other. Love vibes like that. Oh, so there are going to be some points where I just throw random photos because I don't know when they happen. Also, this is Mance's photo that they took. I saw this creature, this synth, all over the con. I probably saw them like 6 or 7 times. They were so fucking cool. Look at their suit. Ah! I did not go to the horny. I did not bother. Oh my God, Cinder. Wow, wow. Oh my God, I was just talking about Cinder and, you know, eating at the vortex with them and a bunch of people. Cinder, it's been like an hour and I'm here. Also, I talked about how I'm a pure ref professional. Do you see how over the top I went with my board, Lamau? So much better than yours. The thing is, this is like what? This is 3 years of pure ref experience on display. Also, Silent Warlock cosplay, hi. I mean, you weren't so silent. I heard you entering with that big raid, but hi, welcome on in. Oh yeah, my husband and I were talking, Cinder, and they were like, yeah, I feel like Kelif woke up, we saw it in the morning, and I never saw them all day until the end. Yeah, that's the experience of roaming with me, is I'm a very independent person. That's a lot of documenting. I'm a big fan of checking in with myself during cons, sending myself Telegram saved messages, just like sort of bullet by bullet kind of, hey, this is what's happening. Not to like take myself away from the experience, but just to remember, oh, that was a cool moment. I want to make sure I internalize this, not only, you know, for my memory, but also for the con recaps. Also, Rue! So this is DEF CON. They're embracing more of like a skunk nowadays, but they still have this Kangi Rue suit. I did not, sadly, spend any time with DEF CON. I saw them like across the way multiple different times, but look at their suit. Look at the Kangi energy right here. They're just so silly shaped. I love Kangi shapes. It's so good. Oh my god, Gyoju, stop bugging this poor man's right here. The sleuthing begins. So I spelled a couple things wrong here, don't bully me. Either way, so in a group chat, this was posted while we were getting ready to get back from dinner, and I'm like, I gotta find Merle in suit. Merle found me out of suit, I gotta find them in suit. So this picture was posted in a group chat, and the sleuthing began because there was a FedEx office sign in the background. So as soon as I saw this photo and I was back at the con, I ran up to like a map kiosk. I'm like, where the fuck is this FedEx office? So using this photo that they posted, I sleuthed what floor they were on, and then I knew where they were. Oh my god, look at this. This is me on the left side being a goober, very Kelif pose. Yeah, Merle sent me this while we were watching Cinder's recap. Yeah, the fabulous pose, the boys. You can see my Ida bag right here. And you can see the, oh my god, is that the? Yeah, you can see them right here. I love their cute little badge. So I was watching Merle's recap and I saw this. OMG, you don't need to know how Kelif's looks like to know that it's him. Look at this silly pose. This is a very 100% Kelif pose right here. You don't even need my face in that. Oh, so after finding Merle, which I was very happy that I did, look at this group of individuals. Whoa, right here. We got a Pronzo, first time. Setsu, I've seen Setsu a billion times. Everybody else here is new, including Stony. Yeah, we had Redacted Otter, we had Scott Rahul, Cynical Canine, Cyrus, Digi, Sharky, Corporal, Jaren. Whoa, so many good beans all together. That's bonkers. I was very excited to meet Pronzo. They're just like their stream selves, very silly, such a goober. And this was about Pronzo. So I had my mask on, just like you saw in the photo. I made eye contact. I pulled the mask down and I said, rawr, and I put it back up. That was one of my favorite, like, stupid interactions I had all con, was the surprise sultry rawr directly at Pronzo. And they got me back later. They also went, they pulled the mask down and went, rawr, but more in like a Pronzo way. I thought it was very funny. It was very good. Oh, so I got a couple, so I hung out with these individuals for a hot minute. I eventually started like walking around. That just kind of happens at cons. You go in groups, you go like out of groups. And over here, so somebody that I went to dinner with, Brandon, they were on like the far side of the table compared to me. So I didn't actually get to have like much of a conversation or a one-on-one with them. And I randomly ran into them and Chap's partner. And we just gotta like talk for a little bit. It's easy when like you're in a larger group to not like give time to everybody in there that deserves it. So it felt really good to be able to talk to those two people who I didn't get much FaceTime with at dinner and just talk for a bit. That was great. So I got to meet mod of the channel, friend for years, Crouton Blue Jay, in person. Isn't that cool? I don't know why their Twitter icon's so horny, but here it is. Yeah, it was great meeting Crouton. I gave them bad directions to find me, but they eventually did. Both of their roomies were so sweet, so wonderful. I had never heard of them before. I had never met them before, but it was pretty great. And you know what else was great? So we were chilling near a restaurant, and through the glass, oh my god, it was Gunnar. Gunnar was right there, and Crouton and me and the two roomies were very much like Kelif Hine, just right at the glass, just like stare at us. Look at us, Gunnar. Stop eating. Look through the window. And I thought that was so funny. And oh, I got to say hi. It was a very small hi because they still had all their luggage with them. So, you know, that took priority. Putting stuff in the room over hanging out. But everybody here of this 4-person group, A+, A+. So, I had after TFF, which is the con that I did most previously compared to this, I had a criticism for myself, and I wanted to make sure that I did better at that thing during the con. Something that I did at TFF, and I have definitely done in the past, but I noticed it more after TFF. I would be in a group of established friends, like this time, and I'd be having a great time, but my eyes would not be connected to theirs. My eyes would be wandering, and all I would be able to think is, who else do I know? Who else can I find? And even though that's, I guess, part of the con energy and part of the excitement of, oh wow, what if I run into someone else? I feel like it sells and tells the other person that I am not there in the conversation with them, which is the last thing I want. I want everybody I meet and I care about to feel really special and loved. So it was a very conscious decision during this convention that I'm like, okay, Kelif, we are not gonna just sit in a group and look around and try and find other people. We're just gonna be here and appreciate those that are here. And I feel like I did a pretty good job with that. Speaking of wonderful people that I met here, whoa. So after like a pretty full Thursday of travel, of meeting people, of wonderful food and great chats already, I was just walking back towards my hotel. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And I saw Fuzzbee in there and they recognized me. And while them and I were chatting, everybody else in this group slowly pulled up and around. This probably started, I don't know, around like midnight. And we ended up talking for about an hour. Yeah, I was right. So my chatty crew all right here until 1 in the morning. Very eepy. My roommates, such adults, such professionals. I love this, no sarcasm. I get back to the room around 1 a.m. They're already asleep. Bless responsible roommates. Hell yeah. So, Friday. So here's my two roomies. I did a morning journal with them in the room. I slept really good. So it's so weird because my husband and I barely saw each other at all at the con, which I'll talk about at different points during the story time. But I found them in Regline. First time I saw him at the con, Lamau. I found Pronzo in Reg. My husband gave me directions to the food court. I am directionally challenged. This is so true. For anybody who watched me play The Witness or literally any Metroidvania, you probably also know that I'm directionally challenged. This is not specifically to video games. This is just real life. This is just real life. Kangaroos know one direction, it's hop. So true, yeah. So, something I'm very happy about that happened at this convention, I slept real good. For people who know the con, I stayed at the Hilton. For people who don't know the con, the Marriott is the main, and it's the big sort of party, explosive area. You know, elevators are constantly under duress from all the people going up and down, in and out of suite, in and out of room parties. And then there is the Hilton, and then there is the Hyatt. Then there's the Hyatt. And those are a little bit easier to exist in, harder to party in, but I care much more about existing than I do partying. So high five over to Cinder and Tux for booking the Hilton, because it was very easy to sleep there. and after getting absorbed into their group, I eventually made my way to Metro. For people who came from Cinder's raid, you know that Cinder ate at Metro basically every day. It's a quick and easy diner. You can get to it by walking inside, so even if it's raining or hot out, easy access, so nice. And we had a group of 13, which is a lot, but this is what my table was. Whoa. So we had Digi, Fuzz, Zama, Drabby, Lif, Wolfro, Tank. That was pretty good. I was so hungry and in need of coffee, so I'm really happy I got absorbed into this group. There was a lot of talk about Cassette Beast. We also talked about Hollow Knight. Lif is a professional Hollow Knight enjoyer, and Silk Song Simper. So that was great to chat about with them. A lot of their super cool games. Also, so Tink right here was like, have you ever heard of screwless cube gears? And I said, no. They sent me a video. Here's a couple stills. So essentially it's a cube, but the gears you can spin and everything will turn around it, and it looks really satisfying. Here's some photos from like the Thingiverse. You can see it's just a spoke right here. There's a bunch of like small and larger kind of gears that will turn. It looks so nice. And Tink told me they could 3D print me one and send it my way. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm a fidget hoe, so if there's any new fidget toy I've not experienced, ooh, yeah. I wanna go with it, I wanna play with it. So after the Metro, you know, it was a nice meal, it was a good time. I got sucked into dealers. You know how we placed a pin earlier? We were looking at these zebra cakes. Payback for the zebra cakes right here. So, look at these wonderful stickers. Aren't they amazing? These are by Chowfer. If you know Aeon Pup, if you know Setsuna Wolf, Chowfer did their emotes. They were also tabling at the convention. Smooch all dragons, don't mind if I do. Send nudes, amazing. So I got 2 of each of these stickers because I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give some of these as a gift to Cinder because they helped me get the room. They've been very nice. They got me zebra cakes and the cross stitch. Yeah, I wanna get them a nice gift. So I took this photo right here, I sent it to Cinder and I asked, hey, do you own these? And they said no. And I said, cool, now you do. So that was great. I had 2 more for me and I had 2 I gave to them. I was very happy. So here is one of the shirts that I bought at the dealer's den. Let's zoom in, let's appreciate a woo-ha. It's so cute. Look at this nice critter right here. Sometimes he's shirtless, sometimes there's flowers. I adored the color palette of this so much, I had to purchase it, I had to own it. This is a deep cut. You know, I have very cute alert sounds on my stream, like my follower sound, my gift sub sound, my raid sound. All of it is from a kind of, I don't know, it's an anime that not many people have heard of. So I found Legends merch. Look at this Chiron right here. Look at how nice and chunky and round they are. I got this from Artist Alley. It's so good. It's so cute. Fun fact about this character. So this character is named Chiron. There's also a character named Ronshin. If you Google Ronshin, it'll be the same exact character, but essentially like a BDSM horny version of him. Not joking. So yeah, if you're ever curious what that looks like, you should Google on your own time Ronshin Legends. Because when I've done it on stream before, I get some saucy pieces and I don't want to show that off right now. But yeah, it's my boy. You hear Indy talking about fastest furs? Your mind keeps twisting it to fattest furs? Well, no, we're also talking about that too. Oh, you started journaling at the beginning of the year, inspired by one of my streams like this? I love that. I've talked about this with people before. What is the biggest impact that my streams have on people that I can feel proud about? And I think it's exactly like that. I think if I can inspire anyone to journal or to meditate or to check in with themselves more, that's what I should feel proud about for my stream. And also my very dumb bits that I do. Oh, so Cyrus gifted me a lovely wooden dragon pin. Let's rotate this. Dragon enthusiast. Hell yeah. So I met Rumble randomly in the dealer's den. They told me, Caliph, You should come up to my room later. We're putting a pin in that. We'll get back to it. Who is this mysterious figure? What is that? Why is there a face in the window? Oh, okay, it's Handsome Cinder. So that was the face in the window. I saw this and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I slowly opened the blinds and I just saw this face staring at me, and oh, was my exact reaction. You know who else is good? Dither, formerly known as Ditherkins on twitch.tv. Are they real? I think they are real. I was texting them, and I haven't mentioned this. Out of all the people I met, I had a mental list going in. I had 2 lists. I had one list that was a sob list, where if I don't meet these people, I will in fact sob all over my face and my body and my husband's shoulder. And the second list was everybody else, where if I didn't see them, I would feel disappointed. So who was on the sob list? Well, Pronzo was on the sob list right here. I got to meet them earlier today. And Merle, also on the sob list. And I had a third person on my sob list, where if I didn't get to see them, con ruined. And that was them. So third person, third creature on my sob list. And I was texting them, like during this adventure right here, I was kind of texting back and forth. I'm like, hi, where are you? Can I come hang out? Can you, me, and Zero Crying just all get in a room together? You know, hi, welcome on in. So they gave me their room number. I made my way to their room. It was a very small bit of alone time, and then a bunch of people started coming in the room. Whoa! We had a Kieran Durk, we had a Pickle Pizzas, we had a Key Squid, we had a Bananas. So Kieran had a bag of free dragons. What does that mean? What was in the bag of free dragons? It was a little origami friend right here. This is in my room. This is in my room on the left, just sitting at like my monitor stand. So I thought it was so cute. I love their pink little bag that they had all the cute dragons in. Look at that. It has a nice like floral pattern to them too. So let's see. I actually don't remember what I put here. What did Past Me say is the most terrifying thing I saw all con? What did I put? Oh, I remember now. I remember now. An unnamed individual in this room had an adult toy from the convention that was shaped essentially like this. That's so true. That was the most terrifying thing I saw all con. Here's an MS Paint representation of what it looked like. It was a lion's mouth with a very long tongue. And the thing is, like, they were just playing with the tongue. They were batting at it, just like, burr, burr, and it was wiggling very nicely. I was telling them, I'm like, oh, you could just like lower it and just ride like a Hot Wheel down it. So, and it was like ribbed, like you can see the texture that I added here. It was ribbed. It was a whole experience. And the idea of somebody somehow fitting that in their body was terrifying to me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide that. We don't need to see that anymore. Flyzacon, thanks for coming in on the Maw toy. Great timing. Oh, so this, I was in a couple of different group chats. I was in, I think, 3 separate group chats for TFF, or for FWA. I cannot explain why this made me smile and made me laugh, but it did. What is this interaction? I walked past Jib earlier today, and then I saw Kelif right around when I lost my badge, says Shripe. Anonymous person asks, who is Kelif? I laughed out loud when I saw this interaction with the group chat. I'm like, oh my God, I'm unknown. Somebody doesn't know who I am. This is great. I'm so happy. Who is Kelif anyway? Yeah, so I've talked about this with people who have like much larger followings on social media than me, like over 5 digits or what the fuck ever on Twitter. And they talk about this. People who have like 15,000 followers have told me at dinner, they're like, oh my God, you don't know who I am? And I said, yeah, I have no idea what your accomplishments are, or what you post or anything. And they're like, this is awesome. I'm so happy, because they can just have a normal conversation with me and I don't have any expectations for them. So yeah. That was nice. I was actually so happy. Like, whoever this is, I blurred your name out. I already forgot who it was. Amazing. Thank you so much for this. If somebody doesn't know about you, how am I supposed to be Kelif's husband to them, Lamau? A legit issue. A legit issue. Who is this Kelif guy? I hear he's like part JoJo. I went to the food court with like all these people up here. I went to the food court. They were all starving. They hadn't eaten. I already eaten. So yeah, I went with Dither and crew, and I got to meet up with all these wonderful people. My first time seeing Kodai at the con, my first time seeing Deoxo at the con, my first time meeting Tiger Fire ever in person, who's been hanging out in the chat. Such a precious individual. I got to hang out with him more at like Hot Pot, but I think like here was a good conversation that we had. I really enjoyed it. And so I felt bad. So Magus, who has been in and out of chat, Galaxy Magus, I had seen them a number of times at the con. The first one, the first time, we both had our bags and we were both lost, so it was really quick. The second time, like, I was in a hurry and I couldn't make time for them. And when I saw them standing in the food court, my first thought was, oh gosh, I feel bad, because I had to brush myself off from them. So this is the perfect time to actually talk with them. Whoa! So yeah, I was able to chit chat and have a good time with them. So I was happy about that. What's my stand? Well, I don't stand. I kind of like hop. It's a common misconception. I actually can't stand still. I have to be slightly wiggling at all times, or I just perish. So yeah, I'm kind of like an anti-stand. I'm a pro wiggler. Hot pot time. Chat, put 1 in chat if you've experienced hot pot. Press 2 in chat if you've not experienced a hot pot. Because going into it, I thought to myself, oh yeah, I've definitely done hot pot. And as we got to the restaurant and sat down, I realized I have never done hot pot. I don't know what we're doing. I confused it for something like Korean barbecue, which I have experienced a lot, but it's similar but different. And I see some 2s in chat, so I'll give sort of a general explanation of how it works. So similar but different to Korean barbecue. Like Korean barbecue, you sit down and there's this like recessed cook area, and you throw all the raw meat in there and you just cook it up, and then you eat it with the banchan, the like little side dishes, usually like kimchi or rice or onions, and it's just delicious fresh meat. It's great, it's wonderful. Everybody loves Korean barbecue, including me. Hot pot, similar but different. Everybody chooses their own soup base, and it's essentially, you know, either meat or not meat based, and then a level of heat is kind of what it boils down to. Haha, boils down to. So you choose your soup base, they give you your own pot, they put it on a hot pot, and then Tux, they start boiling him alive until he's cooked perfectly. About how many minutes until I can eat you, Tux? Let me know. Anyway, so that's kind of how hot pot works. You have the boiling soup base, and then you have the meat that you throw in there to cook it, and you have a gigantic list of things to choose from. You can choose like meat or veggies or fish or tofu or anything like that, and our table ordered so much. So we had Pickles and Liff and Wolfro and Digi and Golden and me. And let me tell you, everybody packed away so much. I gave up like early on, and they were like, just like Zama's emo right there, they were rubbing their tummies at how much they could still put away. So while we were hanging out in front of the restaurant, a local girl walks up. Never met her, never seen her before. I'm wearing my Ida bag. So I'm wearing this bag right here. It's full of pins. And she sees that and she's like, oh, I love your bag. It's so cute. And I start talking about it. She looks up, she sees my shirt. It's my Kangi cabin shirt, which I drew and designed. And she's like, oh, I love your shirt. And I said, oh, hey, thanks, I drew it. She looks up at my face and she just says, oh, I love your face. So you and me, we're gonna get together. I'm marrying you tomorrow. See you there, bye-bye. So she walked into the restaurant and she came out to like get something. And she came out and left. And she was just waving it to me. She's like, bye, husband. And that was kind of like the energy she had. So that was quite the local interaction that I had right there. Lamau. I won her over without trying or doing anything. Just like every relationship I've ever been in. Days since California, a new viewer. 0 apparently, Lamau. Don't boil my fiance, please. They fell into the pot. I can't help it. I was gonna stir them up. Kangi, you're like a pro tag in a furry anime. Everybody wants to marry them. They just can't resist my JoJo energy. So, we get back to the convention, and some people might see the keyword right here, Malort Party. So I mentioned briefly earlier, and I'll reiterate here, CZ and Nazard, I had no idea this was gonna happen. We're on the same hotel, same floor as Cinder, Tux, and I. That was such a cool, exciting time. So I got to go to the Malort Party and then get to go to my room right after. Caliph Teehee. So at the Malort Party, while I was walking there, I still hadn't hung out with Gunnar. I creepily stared at Gunnar through like an open window, and that was really my only interaction, just staring through the glass at them, a brief hi and a brief hug. So I was like, hey Gunnar, you should come over here. And my husband texted me and I'm like, hi, you should come over here too. So I invited both them to the Malort Party. Gunnar is so stylish. Did people know this? At the party, Gunnar had A, a mullet, B, bell bottoms, C, a sweater vest that was official ABBA merch. It was so cute. It was all good. I didn't tell you this, Gunnar. There's somebody else I met later on in story time, and they took off their fursuit head and they showed me like their 70s porn stash. And I talked about your fit here and they said, I wish I was Gunnar. That was this like random suitor who took off their head and saw their porn stash. They wish they were you. So that's the best compliment I can give you. Oh, so I put a pin earlier in the idea of dragon stickers. So up here, I'll copy this and I'll bring it down. I bought these for Cinder as kind of like a thank you gift for being a good roommate and getting me gifts as well, and I kept 2 for myself. I did not tell Gunnar this story, so I was just listening when they showed me this photo on their phone. Sold out. Send nudes. Sold out. Smooch all dragons. So I pulled these out of my bullet journal and I told Gunnar the story of me giving each of these over to Cinder and having 2 to myself. And I said, I think this is fate's way of telling me that these should be for you. And I gave them each of the stickers that I bought that happened to be sold out when they went. So it ended up being like a double gift. The 4 stickers I bought from Chowfer, I just kind of like handed out to different people. So it worked out really well. And I'm glad I was able to do that for both Cinder and for Gunnar. Cried, sobbed, exploded, says Gunnar. This girl compliments Caliph and he's immediately like, oh, do you see this shirt I drew? Yeah, how do I respond to flirting? I don't know. So Gunnar was amazed that I knew literally every person coming into the Malort Party. I would just like 5 people would come in and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like that's Cyrus, that's Pronzo, and I would label everybody coming in and Gunnar's like, how do you know? How do you know everybody? This happened to be like my corner of furry Twitch. Like we eventually had like what, 20 something people come in and out of that room over the course of the night. It was a lot. It was a lot of people. You know, Gunnar and Crouton, you know, spent a lot of time together. Ooh woo. So I text Crouton. I'm like, Gunnar is about to try Malort. I can't stop them. I'm sorry. For people who know what Malort is, that's why you reacted when I said I was at a Malort party. And somebody at the party said, oh yeah, we're gonna try Malort. And Gunnar says, oh, I don't know what that is. Cool, I'll try it. And I was like, so I immediately text Gunnar, oh no, they're about to try Malort. I can't stop them, I'm sorry. Question mark, Malort? We got 2 of them. We got 2 of them with giant question marks over their head. Smile, what is that? I'm going to go save them and join him or whatever it is. And Crouton was true to their word. They came to the party and they also had Malort. For people who are still confused in the audience who don't know what Malort is, so it's a thing that Chicagoans try and trick people into trying to ruin their con experience. But what it actually is, it is made from wormwood, so it's a very like bitter kind of taste. And you know what? I did say it earlier, and I will agree. I like it better than beer, and when you're just having shots with friends, it is a good time. So if somebody offers like a group shot of Malort, I say go for it. Why not? You still haven't tried it? Yeah, it's an experience. Watching Hurry's face when they tried Malort for the first time at A&E 2 years ago, I can remember it perfectly, vividly, the reaction just going through their face. It was perfect. So my husband came to the room. They didn't experience the Malort. So I hadn't seen him all day. Gosh, I love my husband. Gosh, I love my husband. Oh, Nati-kun, hi, welcome on in. Are you here for the Malort party? Are you here to join on in? Pick up your sippy cup and I'll pour some for you, hi. But yeah, my husband's great, I adore him, he's wonderful. My husband was referred to as Calif's husband over 5 separate times at the con, Lamau. I definitely don't help because I just say, my husband, and I don't say Scuffles, I don't say anything like that, I don't say rat husband, I just say my husband. So I think this is why he gets this, I don't know, reputation. So he told me this in person at the Malort party, and then he said, okay, husband, I'm gonna get going. And I'm like, okay, I love you, and I hugged him. And he texts me, he's like, on the elevator, it literally happened again. I just got referred to as, oh my God, are you Calif's husband? So apparently, that's what he's known for by a certain part of furry Twitch. Like Aeon Pup, them and their viewers, who's Scuffles? We don't know. That's Calif's husband right over there. Hi. Yeah, I think it's very funny. I think it's very funny that my husband is just referred to as Calif's husband now. Also, feel free to absorb this text while I catch up on chat. Love your avatar. I love Kingy too. Oh, thanks for taking a photo of my first harem experience. Would you ever want a Calif suit? So I have saved up, I've squirreled away approximately $2,000 for a kangaroo suit, which is not enough. That's not enough. I can't even stuff the haunches with $2,000. So yeah, I'm still saving up. I know, I'm still on Friday and I've been streaming for 2 hours, Lamau. So, we've left this sit right here. What does this mean? My first harem experience. Well, as a room party where I know everybody in here, I felt comfortable to be around a very alcohol-centric thing. I sort of assume people are gonna start to get tipsy. And, you know, we just got back from Hot Pot where people had a bunch of soju, and then we also had Malort around. So why do I have my first harem experience? Well, I was just talking with an individual having a nice time, and I have one drunk boy hanging off my left shoulder going, hi. And I have another drunk boy hanging off my right shoulder going, hey. So I think I understand now what it feels like to own a harem because I've had 2 drunk people hanging off either of my side kind of staring at me with wanting eyes. So we're gonna put a pin in this idea right here and we're gonna come back to it. Okay? Smile. So I have more to say about it, but we need more context. So you can blame the scrunkly ass face for me having any Malort at the con because I was chilling with my harem in the corner and I sit back down and Cinder's like, oh, do you wanna like do a shot of Malort Kingy? I mean, roomie, I mean, best friend? And I'm like, okay, fine. So because Cinder did the Cinder bag and gave me the silly puppy eyes, I said yeah. And I did a shot of Malort. So, at one point, late in the night, Sizik walked up to me and they said, oh wow, you know, this is a nice conversation you're having. Wouldn't it be nice if you had it outside of our room? So I think Pronzo noticed when I was showing off my journal earlier, yeah, CZ kicked us out around midnight to go to bed X3, yeah. So I'm totally cool with that because yeah, we were in their room partying. And they wanted to have a rest, so I'm like, yeah, I understand. I'll put on my shoes, I'll leave, I get it. And you're almost ready? There we go. So Decky's wanted this pinned to my ear. My first harem experience, whoa. So I was invited to a group chat for gay brunch, whoa. So I had to wear my new gay brunch shirt. Every part of this was hitting. Let me tell you why. A, You know, we got eggs and coffee and syrup. We got bacon lines, so cute. Each one of the buttons feels like a tiny waffle as well. Isn't that wonderful? Inside the shirt, there's an egg like this. Just, you can bring it on down. And because, you know, my nails were painted like this, I was also bringing the jam to breakfast. So everything was really hitting about my gay brunch shirt. I was very happy about it. Hours of Kelif talk is my favorite trait. Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like this is always the most popular thing that I do. I feel like everybody wants the Kelif Con recap, which makes me smile and is definitely encouraging for me to continue to take lots of good notes. Anyone familiar with Atlanta, you might recognize this place. We went to Mary Mac's Tea Room. Look at this. It's so precious. It's been here in Atlanta for basically ever. It's been there since like 1940. You have to fill out your own menu as a part of like a tradition. I had the did I say hush puffies? I did. Oh my god, I say puffies so much on twitch.tv. I wrote hush puffies. I can't believe I did that. I didn't even notice until I looked at this photo that I wrote hush puffies. That's so stupid. I also got the fried chicken with the white pepper gravy. I got mac and cheese and cornbread dressing and gravy. Whoa. There's my real name if you want to look at it. I don't go by it, so I won't respond. But look at this. This is just the appetizers. This is just the appetizers. We had rolls. We had cornbread, which are hidden under the rolls. We had cinnamon rolls. We had the hush puffies. We had fried okra with dipping sauce. I had a coffee because I was dying. We had fried green tomatoes. I'm a tomato hoe. I love tomatoes, and fried green tomatoes. So absolutely delicious. Oh wait, let's puff with the hush puffies on screen. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two images. This is my actual meal right here. I had the fried chicken with the white pepper gravy, the mac and cheese, so good. And we had the cornbread stuffing. Is that a Kase in chat? I have you somewhere. Here you are. Do you want to know what I wrote about you, Kase dog? Fun to chat with, Arrow. There you go. Oh yeah, sorry, spoilers. My second harem experience. We'll get there. We're so far away. That's the next day, isn't it? Oh no, sorry, it's later this day. So I went with a really cool group of people. I went with Sizik and Nazard and Merle and Nido. And Pronzo too. Oh my god, is that the? Yeah, I hung out with all of the. It was really nice. I'm getting greedy. No, these are just facts. This happened to me. I did not ask for this. How come your mom lets you have 2 harems? I'm gonna pour more hot water because I'm still technically a little bit under the weather. I was actually really nervous about streaming today because I was like, oh man, Kelif, you're only gonna be at like 90%, maybe 80%. But as soon as I hit the go live button and I saw Kengi moving, I'm like, never mind. We're fine. We're fine. But I know my voice needs more tea today than normal. So Merle, oh my god, the Merle Cause told me, I don't know how you have so much energy after absorbing all of this food right here. And the reason I had a triple question mark response is because if you stop by Merle's channel, you know that box is just bouncing around screaming, oh, no. Like, oh, hello? Like all of those sorts of sounds are happening over there. They have so much energy. And after I told them that, they said, Kelif, you don't understand. I do my stream and then I crash and then I just fall over. So I feel like based on that reaction, I did a really good job of unleashing my temporary extroversion mode. And I'm very happy about that. I think that was good evidence that I stuck true to my promise, that I still had a bunch of energy, even after all this food, even after Saturday. I was keeping it up. Be sure to keep your extrovert on a leash. Aren't they the one holding the leash? Anyway, we went to a content creator panel and it was packed. It was so big. It was essentially like a combination of Twitch furries, YouTube furries, TikTok furries. I really only know the Twitch scene. So there were like representatives of like YouTube, representatives of TikTok. I did not know any of them or what they were talking about. And also because it was so big and so many people were there and having their own cross conversations, even though we had 4 panelists, 2 of which I watch and I like here on twitch.television, I could not focus because there was so much sound going on. Also, there were no chairs. It was so busy. It was so packed. So, this is a content creator panel, which means there's a lot of people interested in content creation. I met somebody for the first time in person, and we have interacted before on a platform. And the first thing they do is they say, oh my God, that's Kelif. And they pull out their phone and they start filming the 2 of us together. I did not know how to feel about this. It's never happened to me to meet someone for the first time and immediately just get put on camera. Yeah, I was essentially eyes emoji wide of like, hi, hello. So I was unaware of how to feel and I slowly exited the conversation right afterwards because I don't know. Is it weird? I thought it was weird. I don't know. How should I feel about that? I don't know. Merle did a wonderful thing. I'm so happy they did. Merle scheduled a suiting place and a suiting time for people like me, themselves, my husband, Cinder. I don't remember anybody else who they tried to get all together, but we were trying to get like a common meeting place for a bunch of people to see us all in suit. Tux was back into the room. They helped me get into suit. They helped me take the photo for social media. That was so nice of them. Suiting time. Oh my God, colored sections. Who is she? Direct quote from my journal. I hugged an untold number of people. I hugged so many people in suit. I cannot possibly remember them all. They were all great though. These are people I only saw in suit. These 2 creatures right here, both of whom been in and out of chat. That's you done. We got Neko right here. I did a long range blind recognize on Neko and I'm so proud of it. I was so pumped. Ooh, easy. Neko posted a little selfie in chat while we were all at dinner. And I was like, Merle, did you know that Neko's here? And they were like, what? And I showed them the photo and I absorbed this as best I could, the energy of it. And I blind recognized Neko from so far away. High five me. Also, here's some photos. Whoa. Oh my God, is that the? Yeah, we got Merle right here. So cute. I love Merle's suit. Oh my God, it's me and Setsu. Setsu had like one of these little pokey fingers and they kept putting it into people's noses right there. Oh, here's another Kelif pose right here. Hell yeah. Yeah, so Mance posted a bunch of these photos, thanks to them. Oh, yeah, so here was the crew. So we got Setsu, Merle, Cinder, Tux. I saw this like ketchup hat in our closet, in our room, and I'm like, why did they bring a traffic cone? That's so weird. I had no idea they had a whole ketchup costume. I had no clue until I saw them out and about, and I'm like, oh, it makes sense. It wasn't a traffic cone. Oh, I love the energy Setsu is bringing here. Oh, let's go. Put that on the calendar. Oh, you can see their badge, like the Gremlin Energy badge. Whenever I saw Connor Coffee at the con, they would always go like, they would just do this pose right here. Cinder was like, what the fuck is Setsu doing? Oh, you were showing your ass at one point. Do I have a photo of that? I don't think so. Like all 4 of us were here and you went head first into the ground and just showed the butt to the camera. I remember that even though I don't have a photo of it. Here's more photos. Golden took these. So yeah, more poses of us together, Setsu and I. Oh my God, we're so cool. Our power is to blur people in the background for anonymity. It's very handy at cons. Another cute photo of all of us together. Wow, it's so fun. Something that Neko mentioned earlier and is very true and I think is so funny. Most people don't know that my suit is me. I have become so kangaroo pilled over the past 2 years. Nobody knows who this is anymore. Unless you're like an old-time Kelif fan or something, you don't know that like, this is me, which is so funny. So funny to me. Oh, here it is. So Setsu just sent me this on Telegram. Look at that. I knew they were doing a silly butt pose while we were all hanging out. There it is. There's the silly butt pose. It came across really good. I see Merle sent me some more photos. Oh, you also had butt pose photos. That's so funny. Oh yeah, so we can see Merle start to notice and then just, oh, okay. The 1-2 right here. Wait, can I go left and right? Yeah, I can. 1, 2, 1, 2. Cinder just looking cute, all puppy-eyed, and Merle's going, what the heckies? Like right here. That's so funny. Oh my god, the VRC portal. What is that? For people who don't go to cons much, let me explain. This was our perspective in real life, looking at the people in VR chat jumping about. And this was their perspective looking back at reality. So we have like a two-way kind of communication. Naki and I had a moment because, so they were here in the virtual world. Their paws are up on the photo, which is very fitting. And I was here in my fursuit, as you can see in this photo that they took. They would raise up their arms, move it left, move it right, and I was starting to match their movements. And they would put their arms down and move left and right, and I was mimicking every dance move that they were doing. And I was hoping it was coming across because it was impossible to talk in suit whatsoever because it was loud in the room. Everybody was talking over each other in VR chat. It was a very like cool time. So I texted Naki later on in the day. I'm just like, oh, hey, it was nice seeing you at the VR chat portal. I hope it came across that, you know, I was trying to dance with you. And they told me, you know, this was a precious moment that we shared together. So thank you. So they very much noticed and they very much appreciate it. So I'm happy that I had like some private dance time with them. So I only suited for like 2 hours because I really wanted to go to the Korean barbecue dinner that Kinji told me about while I was in suit. Ketchy made me something and they gave it to Nito and Merle to deliver to me. So they created this creature. Look at this nice. Look at this nice friend right here. Yeah, Nito made it with the perlers. Merle delivered it in person. So I have a physical version of this. Whoa. You had no other way of seeing Kelif. This was our way of bonding. And we took the Marta towards the restaurant. And on the way, look at this coffee bar. Dancing Ghost. Look at this logo. This place has to be banging. I didn't go in. We weren't there for coffee. We were there for Korean barbecue. But look at the logo. It's so cute. Just want to be a nice dancey goat at the coffee bar. Bleat, bleat, yeah. Look at this Korean barbecue. So I mentioned it briefly before. Out of the 8 people at our table, 3 of them had never ever tried Korean barbecue before, which is bonkers because it's so gosh darn good. So look at us, we're just swimming the meat right here on the nice big cook pot. So wonderful. Here's where it starts out kind of raw, gets nice and cooked. All of the smoke gets sucked up right here. They pump the smoke out right in front of the restaurant, which I'm sure draws people in. This was my table right here. I had a Twiz, I had a Scott, I had a Stony. We had 8 people at the table, but you know, sort of like 4 and 4. I was in the far corner. So these are the people immediately around me. Twiz art crimed me their words. Look at this little gremlin. Look at this silly Billy right here. Twiz drew that. So it looks really good. I got crimed. Yeah, I got crimed right here. They did such a nice job. I love it. I don't know if I have much of like a gremlin energy, but I feel like a lot of people when they draw Kelif do like to do that silly gremlin energy, and I'm all for it. I'm happy to encourage this. Hey, guess what? I went and I took a photo of the thing that Ketchy made. Well, they made the pixel, as you can see on my ear. Nito made it themselves, and Merle delivered it. So yeah, you can see I literally have my streaming computer in the background right there. So yeah, it's so cute. Look at how big it is. Look how much it fits into my pausey right there. Oh, it looks good. So many cool people. Anyway, what was I doing? Fastest furs. So Rad in chat. Oh, Rad was so cool. We were like rushing we were rushing post-Korean barbecue to get back for the run. I did not know this until we were there. It was their first time doing like a run in person. Whoa, that was so cool. I was extra glad that I got to be there and support them and be a good friend. They did all relics restricted, which is a run I've never seen before in Tunic, and without any spoilers, it gets to show off more of the game than a lot of other categories get to. So it was really neat to see it from that perspective as well. All caps, they did a great job. Oh, and the live view, very low latency. Here was the live view. That's me right there doing the ha ha ha, doing the throw Kelef head back whenever he laughs. You can tell it's me almost purely because of that. So, while I was in this like front row over here, somebody came up to me and they recognized me and they said, "Oh my God, you're Kelef?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Kelef, I watched you play Tunic obsessively, and when you redacted the redacted, you blew my mind. It was so great. High five. Hell yeah. Nice to see you, Kelef." So Kingaroo just walking up to me and being a big old sweetheart, them and Fossil, they were like two people who gave me the quote unquote ideal kind of like streamer watcher kind of reaction. I don't want to say fan feels weird, but both of them were they just ran up, they gave me a compliment, and then they ran away, which is, I don't know, it's cool. I never thought I'd reach that level of like internet where people recognize me, want to say something nice and say, "Have a great con," and then like run away. I don't know, it was nice, it was cool. Oh, so this was my view. You can tell that I'm like right there in front. So we had the low latency view that we could see in the background. My legs are very technically in the shot of the run, so you can see me wiggle them. But yeah, there's Rad, there's Biff. And yeah, it was just a really cool setup. I've never stopped by a Fastest Furs event at a con, but you know what? It makes me want to stop by more of them. Well, oh, I didn't even know that, BMO. This was their first live event? Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, get all relics smile. That's a good way of explaining it. So yeah, now that I have experienced a live Fastest Furs, ooh, I want to go to more cons where they do it. It's so cool. Hell yeah. So I wasn't paying too much attention to like the goals they were trying to hit or like the Twitch chat. I was really just focused on the experience of watching the run live, which is really fun. They unlocked Gun Percent, which is a great speed run where you get the titular item in as fast as you can with whatever glitches you want to do. It was like a 3 or 4 minute run, and they just went for it and showed off some shit I've never seen in Tunic. It was so cool. So basic, this is a person, not an insult. I went to their room party. The suite that they were in has how many balconies? Imagine to yourself how many balconies a reasonable suite should have, and I'll pause. The answer was 4. This one suite had 4 balconies. Why? There was one to the right of the kitchen, the opposite of the kitchen, and then 2 from the master bedroom. Why? Why do you need 4? That was so funny. Yeah, 2 at most. 4 is too many. I agree. Overdone, but the suite was wonderful, and they were sweet as well. I drank some Malibu. They made me a Malibu mixed drink. I had like Doritos and popcorn, and of course, I had another very small shot of Malort. Why not? Cinder already bullied me to have some over here by doing their puppy begging eyes at me. So I was already ruined, I was already sullied, I was already broken. So why not? Why not continue doing it? So I had another shot with people. It was fun, it was a good time. So I know this is what everybody is staring at. So let me continue. As you can see on my ear, and I talked about earlier, I had a second harem experience. What does this mean? Well, like at the other party, there was a lot of alcohol. Thank you. Like the other party, there was a lot of alcohol around at this party, and boys were feeling flirty, boys were having a good time. There were boys all around me. I had a boy hanging from my left shoulder saying hi. I had a boy from my right shoulder hanging off it saying, hey. I had a boy in front of me holding onto my shoulders going, "What's up?" So I got the bi-directional harem experience over here at my Malort party, and I got the tri-directional harem experience at this party. And I still feel the need to pin this because I've never had experiences like this before. This is new to me. The idea that these many individuals are literally hanging on my every word, hoping for a kiss or hoping for a touch or hoping for affection. It was very explicitly said to me, "Oh my gosh, Kangi, we should kiss," multiple times at this convention. And I'll talk more about that later because it took me a bit to process how I felt about it and what I wanted from experiences like this. And I didn't know the answer right now at this point in time. So I'll come back to it with a pin. Emotions are complicated, yeah. You know what's not complicated? How cool Kase Dog is, how wonderful Liff and Wolfro are, how super fucking cute they are, how gremlin Connor Coffee is. You know what Connor brought up while I was at this party. Connor Coffee brought up an old retweet of mine that scarred them. So months ago, well actually no, I looked it up, I know exactly. On April 18th, a month ago exactly, Connor said, "Kelif, you almost got me. How dare you do this? I can't believe this." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "You retweeted a picture of a guy having coffee in the morning and you could see their dick." And I'm like, "What?" And I had forgotten about this experience completely. So I found it. I did research. I searched my chats and I found how somebody posted in my circle of friends. They said, "I'm pretty sure somebody I know just retweeted a dick. I don't know if they know that they did." And Detra DM'd me with a photo of this tweet from our friends, and they said, "Do you realize that you retweeted a dick?" I looked at the photo and I thought, it's so little. It's literally not even an inch. Who cares? I can have a little dick as a treat. So I refound it. Where is it? Here it is. At a furry party where me retweeting a piece of art with a little bit of dick and it came up, I got sub-retweeted about retweeting it. So here it is again. Why the fuck not? You can look this up on your own time for obvious reasons, but it is a Twisted Hound piece. It's just a guy with like a cup of coffee and just a little bit of dick, just like a smallest amount of dick, and I deserve it as a treat. Yeah, so I thought that was really funny. Like, I can't tell you why. Maybe it was the Malort and the Malibu in my system, but this was the funniest thing in the world to me. Oh boy, 1:30 in the morning. Oh man, I just had a great time with all those lovely people. I just thought about a very small amount of dick. I have a smile on my face. Let's go home. Oh man, I ran in to these cool people who I had not seen at the con. This is the Nebs, the Surgle, and their dragon partner. And a surprise visit from my husband. They showed up. I got to see my husband. Did you know that because I'm not staying with my husband, literally all of Saturday, I didn't see him once, not a single time. It took until 1:30 in the morning to actually see my husband. Oh, so sad. But you know what? We got to hang out. We got to have a nice time. And you know, I talked with him for like 30 minutes. I didn't care that it was 1:30 in the morning. We were just chatting. We were just chilling. It was great. I had a little alcohol in my system. I was wiggling. In the room, they have a friend. Who's they? Well, this is they right here. So this is them. They have a friend now. The Zebra Cakes guy is now officially saying come. He's pushing my brand. Oh, I can't believe it. This is wonderful. Tux and Cinder, they just know what my brand is, and they're pushing it forward right here with the exclamation point come directly on the window. Last main day of the convention. It's Sunday. So, start my morning off. I have an iced caramel macchiato, and the worst Caesar salad I've ever experienced, it didn't have croutons at all. I don't think you should be able to sell a Caesar salad unless it has croutons in it. I think that should be like punishable by law. And you know what I decided? They went on their own adventures, and I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to just sit in a public space and just journal. I posted in one group chat, not even all 3 group chats for FWA, and I said, I'm vaguely in this area just journaling. If you want to come and hang out, you can hang out. So that's all I did. And for probably like 15 or so minutes, it was just me. And it was kind of nice. I sort of found like solitude in the gigantic crowd that was the 3rd floor of the lobby of FWA. And I really liked it. It was just me and my feelings and slowly filling out like one of the journal pages. It would have been this one right here. I probably got to, I don't know, around like here. And then Pickle showed up and we got to like start to chatting. And more people just started to like flood out our group right here. I saw Domingo, so nice, happy to meet them. I saw Magasin Suit, look at this nice phoenix right here. I got this from their Twitter. They were just walking around, so bird, look at that creature. They're the one on the right. So I was very excited about this. I had very technically seen Tater at some point during the con, but it was like 1 second, like in, out, nothing else. We scheduled to get a meal together right here. So I went towards the food court and we ate at Gus's. And I got to see Tater, I got to see Roxy, who was a fun surprise. And there's a couple other friends there too. And I believe I have it right here. Yeah, here it is, direct journal quote. Tater is just as funny in person as they are in VR chat. You know, some people have like a disconnect between their VR chat selves and their real life selves. I do not think Tater has a disconnect. I think they're just as silly and goofy and as wonderful as they are online, which is nice. So, proof it's a Kella photo, by the way. This is the first photo I think I've shown that has my fidget cube in it. So yeah, this is Gus's. If you don't know, they make like wonderful fried chicken. This is my 2nd fried chicken experience at the con. I got some fries, I got some beans, nice. They mentioned, Tater and Roxy and friends, that Photographer, a mutual friend to all of us, posted like a 20-something minute video, and it said, oh, if you're wondering what's been going on in my life, you should watch this and you'll find out. We'll put a pin in that, because I didn't get to watch it until later, but I definitely do want to talk about it. Oh, yeah, we got a surprise visit from another VR chat friend. So Tater and I both know somebody from VR chat named Newport, and I didn't even know they were going to this con, but yeah, so they came to the con right here. They even brought their own like low poly badge. I could really feel the frames just like VR chat. Apparently, Tater went to a gas station to buy Newports to make this bit happen. So they printed out like a very low res photo of Newports from VR chat and gave it as a badge to the cigarettes, which I thought was a great, hilarious bit. You know how I said they're just as funny in person? It's shit like this, that's why. So yeah, I got to hold and meet Newports right there. Oh, Rumble and pens. We had a pin from earlier, and it was this one. So I met Rumble in the dealer's den. They told me to come up to their room. Well, it's now time to experience Rumble and pens. And I met Icky while I was in the artist alley. You ever have those people, chat, where like you're just mutuals on social media, but you never actually interact with each other, and you just have this weird sort of like barrier around each other, where it's like, I'm sure if we talked, we'd have like a cool conversation and maybe even be friends, but nothing is bringing us closer together. So it's just never gonna happen, or we're gonna exist in friend limbo. I feel like Icky is one of those people. So I got to meet them in person. I'm like, oh, yeah, you are cool. I knew it. I knew you'd be fun. I found a way to get Kelf to come to my room, just offered him colorful inks for his journal. I mean, it would work on me. If somebody at AC wants to entice me up to the room with colorful inks and pens, it will work. pens. Yeah, paperclip nose. So this right here is Rumble's collection, and they walked me through how all of them are, all the different inks that they were filled with. I should have taken more photos of this process, but I was just having fun hanging out with people. They all felt really good, and I'll talk about why. So I've never used a stub nib before. Whoa, stub nibs are cool. You know how like a lot of typography and nice handwriting has like the mix between thin lines and thick lines? Pen tips like this are one way that people can get that effect to happen. I don't have any sort of separate style nibs. I only have like a standard medium and a standard fine. But after experiencing like a sexy stub nib, ooh, yeah, that's a good vibe. Oh, so Ziffic is like a wolf dragon roommate of theirs who I don't believe I've met at a con before. They were super nice. They were super fun. I got to try out their pens too. They have Twisbees like I do, but they had like much different inks, and it was just fun. They were all so cool. And this one right here, this like green pen, had this cool, wonderful tip. I don't even remember what it was called, but look at how nice it is. It has kind of like a hog nose turn to it. If you press it down normally, it's like a thick line. If you hold it sort of like straight up, it becomes a slightly thinner line. And if you turn it over and only use the tip, it's a really thin line. So basically this pen tip can do absolutely anything. The food nib, it sounds like, oh, sorry, food-a. Food nib, food-a. There we go. Oh, so like I mentioned, I briefly met Crudberry before when I was hanging out in Dither's room. I had more time with Crudberry in this room, and guess what? They had oh my god, they had a fidget slug right here. I've heard friends tell me about the fidget slug. I've heard people talk about it's a cool investment. I've never held one. I've never got to experience one. So I got to like hold their slug and just like wiggle it around and shake it about and play with it and clicky clack in all the nice, satisfying ways. I'm a fan. I want a fidget slug. I already did want a fidget slug, and I already did want a, here we go, a Skrillex Cube Gear. So there's two fidget toys that I want more now post FWA. So I'm a fan. I'm excited. Ba-ba. So Raiders, I'm sorry, I only have two hands, so I can't individually hold all of you like a fidget slug and just sort of play with you by wiggling your digits around. So if you can form like a single file line, so I can grab each one of you one by one and wiggle you around just like this. If that sounds great, just type 1 in chat and I'll shake you like this, okay? Pawn energy is at an all-time low. Eepy Kangi. You know what? I kept pretty true to my promise of the temporary extroversion only mode, but after a whole Thursday, a whole Friday, a whole Saturday, Kangi officially became Eepy. And you know what? It makes sense. I was talking about it with people, and I realized the longest break I took, not counting sleep, was 5 minutes. The longest break I took in the past, what, 3 whole fucking days at this con? I took a 5-minute break in the room and I immediately left and did stuff. So you know what? It did finally catch up to me, and it's a good reminder that even if I'm excited and filled with all the possible friend endorphins, I should still lay down like for 20 minutes a day or something, at least once, like in the middle. Very similar to when I did my cabin trip recap. I just leaned back in a chair and I just stared up at the ceiling. And I did that for like 10 minutes because I needed it. I feel like I needed time to just exist. I mean, people were around, but I was sort of not focused on anybody's existence. I was just like, and I was just trying to photosynthesize existing and energy because this was my lowest energy point of the con. I texted my husband and I said, I don't even know if I should bother eating like a proper dinner. I feel like I should just go back to the room, maybe boring and veg out. And my husband said, we have a long day tomorrow and you better eat, you dingleberry. These are my words, not his. And you know what? He's right. And I'm glad that I listened to him, because if I hadn't texted him, I probably would have just took the rest of the night alone at the con, which I don't know. I don't think would have been the right choice. I'm really happy with how the end of my con went, which we'll get to soon. So thank you, husband, for encouraging that. So 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? So, like I said, I was very, very low energy here, and all I was thinking about was brushwood mutt. You know, you can see them. They're like this pixel right here. I can recognize. I have glasses on. So I was so gosh darn tired here. I could barely interact with like Gunner or Crouton or Golden or Snackers. So I was like, okay, Caliph, we know of a dinner plan happening. You are going to 1, 2, 3 snap, turn on extrovert mode, and go. And as Crouton was just saying, it worked. I just was like, I was dead. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3. And I just went. And maybe it's like the years of food service I've done where I've had to like pretend to have energy or to be able to interact with people. But I feel like I can just do that where I'm just like, Caliph, we're dying. We're gonna turn on a burst right now using my E-Tank reserve and just go for it. It worked really well though. I'm very happy I did. One last big con dinner. I was not feeling emotional at all. I don't care if it was like the last day and this is like my last time with a lot of cool people. I was just like riding the high. I was so pumped, so excited to spend time with people. Oh my God, Vortex, the sequel. We went back to that good burger spot. Oh, look at my burger this time, delicious. I got like Swiss cheese, I got onion rings, I got lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, and I got guacamole. Ooh, but is it really a Caliph photo? We don't see the fidget cube. I don't know. Maybe somebody else took this photo when I stole it. So my table was all these people. It was Jazz, Otter, it was Koi, Tink, Brig, and Kinji. Aw, what a great crew that we had right here. I had very technically met Koi at another convention, but it was like in suit and it was pretty brief. So this is my first time getting like good longer FaceTime with them. And I had very technically met Jazz at this con for the first time over at the content creator panel. So that was nice getting more actual time with them and asking like silly questions and just, I don't know, being myself around them. And even with people who I've technically been around a lot at the convention, like Tink, Brig, and Kinji, they have been at like a lot of like the group meals that I've been at, but I didn't actually get to talk with them specifically. I mean, I guess to be fair, I did do Regline with some of them, but you know, that was a whirlwind. But either way, I'm really happy with who my table was. It's weird to think, when you're doing like big con groups, you can be having a great time in your space with the people you're around, but you look over at the other table and you're like, oh man, I wish I was talking to them as well. Not instead of just as well. Yeah, the onion rings, as Chatter saying, they were really good. I had tots the other time. Those were also really nice. I never tried their fries. I just assumed they were good. I have not been purchasing cheese at the store when I've been going shopping for a couple months now, and cheese has officially lost its power over me. I used to eat it all the time. You used to be able to just leave it on a plate and you could put a trap over it and just trap me as a white person with the power of cheese, just like that one stupid Tumblr post that would have worked on me in the past. But now, it has no power. I had like a cheese curd and I'm like, you know what, that's okay. And in the past, I would have been like slobbering over my own fingers to have a single cheese curd. So I would have like gone to Culver's and like punched somebody, eat a whole bowl of them. But nowadays, it has lost the power, and I'm very happy to be able to say that. Oh, so Pronzo, I considered them like the host of this evening because they were hopping between each of the tables, talking to everybody, just like I like to do in VR chat. They were a great host. They walked up to my table and they were saying like, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm sorry we couldn't like all sit together, but you guys don't even need me. You have Caliph over here. He's like way more charismatic than me. And I'm just like, what do you mean? It's just like everybody wants to spend time with Pronzo. That's part of the reason like a lot of us are here, is to get more FaceTime with you. And it was very sweet and I did appreciate it. But it also meant that I had to like go be the host mode and go over there. So Preyx Purge came along with this. It was my first time meeting them. They have like a nice gentle kind of aura about them. I really like them. So they went up to like go to the bathroom, and I'm like, perfect. There is a spot at the table. I'm gonna go on up. So I'm just like, oh, hi, Pranzo and other table. And I was chatting with them. And Pranzo and I got into the conversation of me drawing art for them. And I'm like, oh, but if you do that, we're gonna be in DMs with each other. And oh my gosh, like, I'm just so embarrassed. I have to go sit down. And then I left. So that was my way of like trying to do payback for Pranzo doing their bit, is to just return them with another bit. So I thought that was fun. I had quite a city experience. So I was wearing my Ida bag like I do at every con I go to all the time. It's very convenient having a space to store things, bringing my water bottle, love it, A+, awesome. A man approached me and they said, oh, hey, I like your pins. And that started the conversation, just a random person off the street. We were at the MARTA waiting for it to come. And they were like, oh, do they mean anything to you? And I have like a lot of anxiety fox on my Ida bag. And I'm just like, oh yeah, like, you know, in the past, I've struggled a lot with anxiety. And that's what sort of started my pin collection journey. My very first pin I ever bought, and this is true, is an anxiety fox pin that says, I'm gonna be okay, which is true, I am. And, you know, others are valuable to me from like a personal experience, whether a friend gifted it to me or just like a good memory of a con. So there's a lot there that I care about. And he said, oh, you know, that's great. That's wonderful. Hey, do you mind if I pray for you? And I'm like, sure, you can pray for me. Because I assumed he would go do this in the comfort of his own spot away from me. And he said, no, like right now. Can I pray for you right now? And I said, okay, because I didn't know what to say. So he grabs my hand. He like clasps my right hand with both of his fists. And he's like, oh, he closes his eyes too. And he's like, okay, please God above, bless this caliph right here. Make sure they get help with their anxiety. Make sure they have a wonderful time with all their friends. Amen. And they're like, bless you. And they ran away. And I'm like, okay. So I think that's like a city only type of experience. So that happened. That was a thing. And then I went back to my group and I'm like, hi. This was sure an experience. JD, hi, JD. I somehow have not run into you at either annex, which is really small, or this convention. My husband, I was talking about that. I'm like, oh, did you see JD at the con? And they're like, oh yeah, like I saw JD. They were really nice. And I'm like, okay, fine. I just missed JD. That's my superpower. I still saw, just like over at annex, I saw like your little cards that you put out, and I'm like, I see you. There's evidence you were here, but I never found you. To be fair, I never texted you, but at this point, I think it's funny that I somehow have always missed you. Oh, here's my favorite dumb joke from the con. Are you ready? I'm ready. So Stony was wearing shoes that said HU, HU. And this is not the joke, but this is how I started the conversation. I said, oh, Stony, it's like your shoes are laughing, just like hoo 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 hoo. And that's what started this little bit that we were going on. And I think it was Jaren who was like, oh, you know, it makes me think of just like periodic tables. So I look it up, and apparently HU stands for Hundium. And I never heard of this. I think it's like on one of the rapid decays, like probably really far down the periodic table. So I was telling the group who was part of this stupid conversation, and I said, oh yeah, did you ever hear about the person who overdosed on Hundium? It was a real whodunit kind of case. So that was my best stupid joke of the con. I hope you're all ready to Alt F4, Control W your tab. You're welcome. So, final goodbyes. So, the Hyatt lobby. I'm not feeling emotional. Merle and Nito are coming down because they were staying at the Hyatt to say goodbye to our giant group of people that we were all hanging out with and we all went to dinner with. I'm not feeling it. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. I had a great time with Merle and Nito and all these wonderful friends. It's fine. I got through about 5 or 6 hugs around me, and I noticed that Pranzo is wiping tears from his eyes. But that's okay. Other people can get emotional. I'm not feeling it. I'm fine. It's not a big deal. I finish hugging the circle around me, and I hug Pranzo, and he's crying. And in this moment, when he's tearing up and hugging me, he says, thank you for being so nice to me, and I start crying too. So this was the moment where I just kind of like started, I don't know, crying onto Pranzo's shoulder. Like, yeah, of course, I was very excited to meet them. They were part of my sob list, one of my 3 people. Yeah, so of course I was already like, oh man, like this is so cool, such a wonderful time. And yeah, I definitely started crying right there. It was good. It was a wonderful cry. And a lot of the times, like I cry in public, my first instinct is to run far, far away from everybody. And Kinji was like, oh, hey, more people are coming. I'm like, cool. And I was like, I had tears going down my cheeks. So more people show up. It was like Cyrus, and I was too focused on sobbing to remember who else was coming. But at this point, it was like a quick cry, and I'm like, okay, like deep breath, I composed myself, and it's fine to cry, but like, I don't know. I guess I wasn't prepared for it, so it sort of blindsided me. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I got through Pranzo with everybody else. We took like a giant group photo. It was really good, and I was fine. And then I saw Hurry walking just right there, and I started crying all over again. Like, I hugged them. I'm like, it was so nice to see you, Hurry. And I don't even remember what I told them. I was just like, have a great rest of your con or something. And I was like stuttering over my words and crying under their shoulder. So I made this tweet, like, as I was walking back to my hotel room. I cried when giving goodbye hugs twice in a row to people. I'm glad it's easier for me to cry in front of other people now, and this is true. But walking through a crowded area while crying still feels weird though. I walked through the incredibly busy 3rd floor lobby back to my hotel room, and I was just like, and like, I just felt so silly. Like, I'm sure like everybody was emotional, but I essentially walked through a party floor with just tears stringing down my cheeks. So that was silly. That was a weird experience. But it was good. Yeah, I agree. I'm sure a lot of people did sob in that lobby. And so like a lot of Beacon Pines music has played during my recap. It's part of my playlist, which I like a lot. I cried so many times during that game. I cried at the ending. I cried after I cuddled my husband and I rewatched the ending. I cried when I edited it. I cried when I watched the edited video. God, yeah, that really got me. I loved Beacon Pines. At the end of the night, I was done crying, like actually 100% by the time I got to my room, and Tux was there. And so like I showered, I did all my pre-packing, and I was just laying in the bed like Nardod Lay 1, Nardod Lay 2. And I talked with him for like 90 minutes. Like, even though, you know, I had a lot of small moments here or there with Tux during the con, we didn't really have many one-on-one moments until now. So it was just a really good, fun conversation that lasted an hour and a half. And multiple times during that, they're like, Kelif, I know you have to wake up at like 6 gosh darn 30 in the morning to catch your flight. We can just stop talking. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So it's funny, Javi. So like PCD hit me really hard when I knew less people at conventions. And I think my husband and I talked about this. I think that happened for me and him because when you know everybody, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I just go back on Twitch or VR chat. It's not like we're really far away, even though we're not in person hanging out. But when you don't know many people, it hits a lot harder. It's like, when am I going to see them again? Or like, when am I going to be around all this like queer energy and wonderful fursuits? But now I feel almost spoiled for choice. It's like, oh yeah, I can hang out with friend A, B, C, or friend 100 whenever I want during a weekend. So the PCD doesn't really hit me very hard, but occasionally goodbyes still hit me hard. So this is not a full day recap. This is like a couple stories. We're at the end. Oh my God, look, whoa. We made it through all of this. It only took 3.5 hours to get through the actual con. So Monday. I woke up at 4:45 a.m. Not for any reason, honestly. I think it was just kind of like the excitement of, oh yeah, like, you know, we just had a wonderful con. I was putting together like this board in my mind, and I still hadn't even written my like Sunday over here. So all of the thoughts right here and the emotional goodbyes were kind of swimming in my head. So I think when I stirred just a small amount, I was already wide awake. So I couldn't sleep. I watched Photographer's video, which I pinned earlier, but I'm going to catch up on chat before I start on this. Photo's video, which they posted in my Discord, if you're curious to find, or if you know Photo, you can find it on their Twitter. The video was about his friend. And he woke up in the middle of the night, very similar to me, and he got a message from his friend that said, "Hey, my kidneys are failing." And without even thinking about it, in his sleepy state, Photo responded, "Don't worry about it, I got you." And then they went back to sleep. So when they actually woke up, it was like, did that really happen? Did I just daydream that my friend texted me this really serious emotional thing and I said, "Don't worry, I got you"? They did. And it was true. And they talked about, oh, you know, I sent this message in the middle of the night. Did I mean it? Do I want to do that? They thought more about it and they said, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give my friend my kidney. And they talked a lot about the emotional process of making that decision. And they looked up, what are the chances of this process going wrong? And apparently, according to the internet, it's about a 1 in 2,000 chance that a procedure like this goes wrong, which is very small. But like, if somebody said, "Oh yeah, hey Kelif, you're gonna commute to work. There's just a 1 in 2,000 chance you're not gonna make it. Have a great job, have a great life." I think I would quit that job. I don't think I would go, even though it's a very small chance. Like, that's once every how many years that you would die. But once it happens, it's over. So they filmed a video. They filmed essentially an obituary for themselves. It was like, okay, well, if this 1 in 2,000 chance goes wrong, then what am I going to tell people? So they filmed a video as if this did happen. The 1 in 2,000 chance went terribly wrong. And they said, oh, I'm only going to release this if everything goes wrong. But they filmed that video of what they would say to everybody and who they would want to send it to and all of that. And then they watched it. So they essentially just saw their own funeral. And it was a really interesting video and how they filmed it and how they talked about it. Because that style of self-reflection, I think, could be weirdly positive and weirdly nice, where it's like, oh, if I wasn't here tomorrow, would I be proud of what I accomplished? Would I be happy with everything I've done, even if I would miss all the people that I didn't get enough time with, or all these things I couldn't actually get to because I'm no longer here? Am I happy with how I lived my life? And they said directly, I know that I'm happy and I love my friends. So it was a very emotional video to watch at 4:45 in the morning, and I definitely got sniffly after watching it. And I'm happy. I'm happy for them that this was a good process. And people reached out to them because they were making posts like, oh, you know, I love all my friends. I'm very happy, which, if you don't know, is usually a sign of somebody about to commit self-harm. So people would approach them and be like, hey, Photo, are you okay? Is everything going all right? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm actually on cloud 9, which is true. I know Photo well enough that this is not a facade. I think this is very true for them. And for the actual story of did they give the kidney, they have not yet. They're going to fly over the Atlantic and do the consultation to see if they're a perfect match with this individual. And then they're going to go through with it. So I guess there's kind of like a pin in this post right here of how is it going to go for Photo. I don't know. But I'm really happy that they can do this kind of self-reflection of the imagining that they're not here anymore and everything that they accomplished, and to know that doing things for their friends is what gives them the highest amount of joy in their life. Then I'm glad. I'm glad I have a friend like this who can be that selfless. You hope Kangi is happy with how he's lived his life. I am. Like, I haven't done, you know, a filming a video, but I did daydream because I had what? That was a 20-minute video and I had an hour and 20 minutes to kill. So I thought a lot about it in that moment of, if for some reason I don't make it home from FWA, am I happy? with who I was? Am I happy with who I am right now? And the answer was yeah. Like, I'm very happy of all the connections that I've made over the years. I'm really happy that, I don't know, I've gotten to affect so many people's lives that I have. It's weird to think that, you know, this silly Twitch stream that I started to just go through a backlog of games, and because my husband encouraged me, I've met so many beautiful, wonderful people, and I've made so many strong, powerful connections that I'm still reaping the benefits of today, and I'm encouraging people to better themselves in either small or medium or large ways. It's cool. And if for some reason I wasn't here next week, I'd feel proud of who I was and what I got up to. So, yeah. He's a good person. I can tell he genuinely cares about people. I do. I care so much. I care a lot. I cried twice at the con. That's how much I care. You'd have many regrets. It's hard to think about. I think that's fair. Like, life is long. Like, I've made a lot of stupid mistakes. I'm sure I've hurt people's feelings. I'm sure I've made people feel awkward. But overall, no question, I have made people's lives better than I've made them worse. That's not a question in my mind. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, nobody knows how the future is going to be or how long we're going to be here, but no question, am I happy with who I am and what I've done. Like, both on Twitch, outside of Twitch. I'm happy with all the art that I've done, all the friends that I've made, all the people I've helped bring together, and that I will continue to bring together. I plan on living a long time, a very healthy person. I have a very positive outlook. I'm gonna do my best to be around as long as I can. But yeah. It's interesting to think about. Thank you, Twitch, for interrupting this sentimental moment with a Taco Bell ad. Yeah. Never stop being you. I won't. I won't. I feel like I've been very, like, uncompromisingly myself. I won't read this verbatim live on Twitch. I don't know if they'd want me to say it. But I got a compliment from somebody who I hung out with at the con. And good luck figuring out who. I hung out with so many fucking people at the con. But I got a compliment. And they said, you were so unapologetically yourself and so happy about being yourself. I wanted to know, like, how long did it take you to get there? And I sort of gave them the answer that I give to everybody when somebody, like, asks me that question. It's just like, oh, well, I've been doing meditation, journaling, yoga, and affirmations for about 5 years, and each of those, for different reasons, help push me towards being, like, the best version of myself that I think I can be. I also believe in a orbital Gyoju. So here is the final step of the harem saga. Oh, what's the final step? The final step is feelings. We were just talking about feelings. Let's get the 1, 2, 3 all together right here. So what is this? What is this conversation? My first harem experience, where I had 2 drunk boys, one on my right shoulder, one on my left, hanging off the side. My second harem experience, where I had drunk boy right, drunk boy left, drunk boy in front of me, hanging off my shoulders. The harem experience, the burden of sexuality and expectations set. So what do I mean by all this? So I've been thinking a lot about it. I feel like, because I'm a very flirty individual online on twitch.tv, I set, like, expectations for people around me. It's like, oh, Kelif wants, like, to be super flirty in real life, which I don't know if I do. I thought a lot about it, and I don't really feel the want to reciprocate very much at all. Like, it's this barrier. You know that one, like, style of comic? I've seen a number of different ones like this, where, oh yeah, like, oh, I'm horny texting you so hard right now. Yeah, that's the person sending it. And the person receiving is like, oh my God, you're gonna horny text me so hard in person. And they meet in real life and they're just like awkward. They're like, okay, hi. And that's kind of like the energy. Online, I'm a very cool, funny, flirty person, especially on Naruto. Do you see all the fucking slutty ass shit I say over there? It's bonkers. And in person, I would see these people and they'd be like, hey, Caliph. And I'd be like, hi. And I would just smile and wave. And I would have like no thought about like any of the stupid, horny bullshit that I talked about. And I think in person, like there's just this hard barrier for me, especially in a public setting. If there was a private setting where I could maybe explore some of those weird ass bullshit, horny things I say, then who knows? But in a public setting at a party, I'm like a hard cut off, hard not interested. People would be like, oh, Caliph, oh, can we like kiss right now? And I'd be like, you know, I'm good. And they're like, oh, what about like, we don't have to use tongue. We can just press our lips together. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. What about like a peck on the cheek? And I'm like, I'm good. They're like, what about hand holding? I'm like, oh yeah, finger guns. Brr, 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 brr. Like that's something I can do, easy. Oh man, do you want a hug? Okay, cool. Do you want to like hold hands? Cool. Everything else, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, what else did Past Me say about it? So I don't know, the phrase I use with somebody in a DM is just like, I don't know if I've just gotten more ace over time or like my sexuality has shifted more in that direction or whatever it is. But yeah, I have much less want to like ever like kiss or make out with anybody. Even though I thought I did, the imagination is always gonna be more interesting to me than the reality. That's just how my life is. And maybe it'd be more about like situations, like what if, you know, like nobody was drunk and we were all sober and be like, oh my God, what if we kissed right now? Oh my God, what if we did? Maybe that'd be more my speed. But I need to be more mindful about expectations that I set with people because I am a flirty person. I do like to say these cool, silly things. And I think it turns into, whether I want it or not, an expectation from another person. It's like, oh man, Caliph was so flirty with me online, even though they're ace, they'll definitely want to kiss me in person. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's my fault, but I guess that's the most direct way to say it. I feel like I set and then ruined expectations for a small group of people, and I'm sorry about that if I did. But I'm still learning this sort of thing. I don't really know, I guess, who I am in that respect fully or what I want fully in terms of an in-person environment. I'm pretty sure it's zero. I'm pretty sure it's fucking nothing. But you know what? I think it was just a kind of staring in the face type of thing because I was surrounded by the multiple harem experiences. So I'm like, oh, this is a direct result of my flirty actions and I don't know if I want this. So yeah, I'm still learning about that. Drunk boy left, drunk boy right. Sounds like a pizza order. Yeah, can I get a nun pizza, drunk boy left? Hugs are fine, where am I on Snugs? The thing is, I was invited to snuggling with people multiple times and I said no to all of them. Maybe part of it was because there was alcohol involved. I don't know if that changed my mind on it. But I didn't snuggle anyone at the con, not even my husband, because we didn't stay together. So, oh, we had an airport surprise at the con. Whoa, Kurtan and roommates and Gunner all going back to California, all had a layover in Kansas City, so they were on my flight. Wow. And then Cinna, Basic, Wacky, and 3 other obvious furries all going to Kansas City. Wow, this is a chock full furry flight where I knew pretty much everybody. So it was a very funny moment. So if I say peekaboo hat, there's a small percentage of chat, maybe a large percentage, who know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So right in the front row of the airplane, I see one of those hats and I'm just like, hi. It's like, I just knew. It's like, I know what you're about. And so I was walking out of the plane with my Ida bag with all my pins. And one of the stewardesses stops us and she says, you're the 3rd person with a pin trading bag that I've seen on this flight. And I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was funny. Like, that's what she picked up on. It's not like it's all furry bullshit. She's just like, wow, you're all really into pin trading. I've never traded a pin. I'm too emotionally attached to all my pins. My biggest worry pre-con, which we talked about, looks at Fake Watch 3 hours and 20 minutes ago. God damn. So 3 hours and 20 minutes ago, I talked about my biggest worry at the convention, which was, I'm worried that I'm gonna sit down at the con and just start scrolling on social media and get back into a bad habit I don't want. And guess what, baby? I didn't scroll once on social media. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the biggest win. All con is that I did not get sucked into the power of Twitter. Oh, I'm so proud. I haven't scrolled at all in like, what, 4 weeks? It's been like 4 weeks. Oh, I'm so good. But yeah, so while I was just talking to, so I sat next to Senna, who I didn't get to hang out at all at the con. They're a local furry here. And we just got to talk. Like the vast majority of the flight, we just talked about like life and con experiences. It was great. So Crouton in chat was like not very far away, just like 2 rows down, and they were getting the IRL Kelef podcast experience. I'll just get locked in it. Oh, whoa, I have an intern at my job. Wow. So she started on Monday when I was gone. So Tuesday through Thursday, I've been hanging out with my intern once a day. We just schedule calls, and I'm teaching her all about the specific things that I do at my job. Every time I finish like a new ticket, I'm just like, oh, hey, intern, do you want to talk about like all the stuff that I just did and how I solved this particular problem and how I approach things? Whoa. And today, after I did like a 40-minute session with her just talking about work stuff, she's one of those people on work calls who has like a blurred background, but I was pretty sure I could see the vague outline of a gamer chair. So I'm like, do you video game? And she's like, yeah, I have my gaming PC over there. So we bonded over like MMOs and video games, and we just chatted for a bit. So I'm happy that I can have like a personal connection with my intern. So if I don't know what to talk about at the end of blathering for like 45 minutes, then I get to talk about video games with her, which is great. Chat, you know how I can literally talk for like 4 fucking hours about a con trip and interact with you? It's essentially the same energy when I'm doing like a work call and I'm just teaching somebody something or blathering. I can just blather for like 60 minutes nonstop about a work thing if I'm not interrupted. So yeah, hi, Melty Blood's cool. Look at me. I had in-match goals. This is yesterday night. My goal for myself was to knowingly make a good block string and punish somebody, and I knowingly chose to do 2-3-6 AA, punish their attack with 2C into a full combo. So proud of me. This means nothing to like 90% of chat, I'm sorry. But just know that I had a goal in a fighting game, and I hit it, and I felt like a god. Even though I lost that round, I don't give a shit. I knew what I wanted to accomplish, and it felt really good to actually do it. So that was cool. Oh my god, did you know that Merle and Cinder did a recap at FWA? Can we have a moment and press 1 in chat? Because guess what, baby? They both use PureRef. They both used this application right here to do their recaps. Theirs was not, you know, as bonkers as mine is, Lamau. But you know what? I'm still proud. I'm still happy that we're getting more people in on this PureRef. I know Franz has used PureRef before. I see that 1 in chat. Yeah. I don't know why it makes me so happy. I mean, I'm like the PureRef streamer. What I think is so funny is, so I'll make the mistake right here. So Cinder was doing this. They were like dragging, and they're like, oh gosh darn it, I'm sorry. And then they would just full screen and they would drag again. And I told Cinder, hi, can you control W? And then it never happened again. And I'm like, I am such a PureRef pro. I'm just like, hey Kelef, hey Cinder, just press control W. It'll solve all your problems. Ooh, I love PureRef. It's silly fun, I like it. The rollback netcode has been treating me well. Oh my god, I can find it. There's one person who I like versed, and wait, is it right here? Oh my god. So look at this fucking connection right here. This is not a, I'm sorry, you asked if the game's good, and I'm gonna show you my worst experience with it. Look at this. This was the actual speed that the game was going at. This person's account name is Salt, as you can see in the upper left. This match, so matches are like 60 seconds. This video is 10 minutes long, and it's 2 rounds. It's 2 out of 3 rounds, and it took 10 minutes. This one match took 15 minutes, and I stubbornly did not leave. Oh yeah, I'm talking in the background. So the whole ass thing is like this. You play in slow motion. I'm narrating my discontent to the very end. But yeah, I eventually won that match very stubbornly. But yeah, every other experience has been really good. I've been having fun.